Years ago, USA Today ran an article, and it started with a question. The question was, if you could ask God or any supreme being, it was USA Today, if you could ask God any question, what would it be? And the number one response, as it came in on the survey, was, "What is my purpose in life? What is my purpose in life?" And that's a deep question because no one wants to live life not knowing why they exist, and it goes deeper the more you think about it. As young men working to discover who you are, to be who you are created to be, to make decisions that not only impact you on the football field or in the athletics that you participate in, but also in life. What's happening now in high school as you're preparing for college or the military or career or life, you're going to find yourself in a window of about 2 to 4 years where such significant decisions will have to be made that will actually impact you for decades to come. And when you start thinking about that, it can be overwhelming. It can create a lot of anxiety. But the answer to that question, what is my purpose in life, is the answer that's going to give you focus. It's going to give you intentionality. It's going to give you the insight necessary to know what you are, who you are, and why you are. I mean, that really is that whole focus on purpose. Now, there is a message that has been propagated for decades in our culture. And that message, whether it's in a Disney film or some show on Nickelodeon or Disney Channel or even in popular movies and songs, is that you can be anything you want to be. Now, that sounds really good. It's just not true. It doesn't matter how people might want to twist those words and concepts into believing there's something they're not. But you can't be anything you want to be. That just does not really logically make sense at all. It's not the right question. The question is more so, who am I supposed to be? And who have I been made to be? You know, there's a gentleman that lived thousands and thousands of years ago, lived on the other side of the planet. And in this understanding that he was not just formed out of nothingness, but created with intentionality. He grew up his whole life recognizing and knowing that he was created with a purpose in mind, that his existence was intentional. And yet he had to get a hold of grasp of that, that he was intentionally and purposefully created. There's an old verse that says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I consecrated you. To this man," that verse says, "I appointed you a prophet to the nations." Even before you had a breath in your lungs outside of your mother's womb. So his understanding of recognition that he was made for a purpose was what drove him to be the individual he was created to be. Let me just say, guys, as you're thinking through this, I have verses that I go to for insight and mentors that I go to for wisdom, and that they all need to line up. Otherwise, you're getting all kind of messages. Over the next year or so, as you are making major decisions for life, whether to get married or not get married, whether to go to work at a certain place or not go to work at a certain place, whether to join the military or not join the military, whether to go to college or to junior college or university somewhere, all those decisions will impact you. But regardless of the decision, regardless of what you step into, which we would pray and I would hope would be a right and righteous decision, your purpose for existence is not defined by other people, but by the one who knew you in the womb even before you knew that you existed. And so it doesn't make it easy, but it does give us insight so that we aren't blindsided in life, and so we know where to go. And this old gentleman from thousands of years ago on the other side of the planet, and that verse that I just read to you, he had a lot of excuses as to why he couldn't be what he needed to be. And the fact of the matter is, most of us have excuses when it comes to difficulties of why we don't want to do what we don't want to do. But if you know your purpose, and you know why you are, and you know who you are, and from my perspective, and you know whose you are, that even in the midst of fear and uncertainty, you can step forward to be who you've been created to be. and to fulfill that purpose for which you were made.